All right, let's get right into it. So you've been hitting the books, right? You've probably spent weeks, maybe even months, learning all the theory behind vector databases. You get embeddings, you get semantic search, you get RAG, but now what? Now comes the big question. How do you actually turn all that knowledge into something real? Something you can show off. Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today, moving past the theory and into building actual portfolio-worthy projects.
And this really gets to the heart of it. We're talking about 4 complete project blueprints. This isn't going to be another theory session, I promise. This is about giving you actionable plans to get you building something that really demonstrates what you can do, and fast.
You know that feeling, right? It's the classic tutorial trap. You follow along with all the examples, you nod your head, you think, yeah, I get this. But then you're staring at a blank editor, and it's like, where do I even begin? Our whole goal here is to help you break right out of that cycle for good.
We call this the portfolio problem. It's that huge gap between knowing how something works in your head and having a link you can send someone that says, look what I built. That's the bridge we're going to cross. We want to help you build something that speaks for you, something that proves you know your stuff. So, what's the solution? We've got 4 incredible project blueprints lined up. And these are not just vague ideas, okay? They're structured paths you can actually follow. And they range from something you could totally knock out in a weekend to a much bigger production-grade system. Let's check them out.
Okay, so here's the high-level view. You've got 4 options. First, a documentation Q&A system. That's a really quick win. Then, a customer support chatbot, which is perfect for showing business value. Third, a code search tool, which is great for a technical audience. And finally, a product recommendation system for when you want to tackle scale and complexity. You can pretty much see right away which one might be the best fit for you.
Let's compare those first 2 for a second. The documentation Q&A is the perfect place to start. It's an internal tool, right? It's a quick win that solves a real pain point for any dev team. The customer support chatbot, though, well, that's a whole different beast. It's customer-facing, it's all about impacting business metrics, so it's naturally a bit more complex.
And when we talk about business value, this is what we mean. For a chatbot like that, a huge success metric is aiming to handle over 70% of customer questions automatically, without a human ever getting involved. Now that's a number you can put on your resume. That's a real, quantifiable result.
Now, for the bigger projects, the code search engine. I mean, what a fantastic tool for developers, right? It's built for a super technical audience, helping them dig through massive code bases. But then you contrast that with the product recommendation engine. That's for e-commerce, built for regular users, and has to scale to maybe millions of products. It just goes to show you how versatile this tech really is.
Okay, to make sure this all feels doable and not, totally intimidating, let's really zoom in on that first project, the documentation Q&A system. We're going to break it down piece by piece, just to show you how simple it can be to get a first version up and running.
Seriously, look at this. You can get a minimum viable product, an MVP, done in just 3 steps. 1, you index your documents. That just means you load them, chunk them up, and embed them. 2, you build a Q&A endpoint that feeds the context to an LLM to get an answer. And 3, you log everything for analytics. And don't skip that last step. It's so important because it's how you learn and get better over time. That's it. That's all you need to get started. And here's where it gets really fun, because that MVP is just the starting line. From there, you can add all sorts of cool features. Like, what about a simple thumbs up, thumbs down button for user feedback? Or automatically re-indexing whenever the docs change? Or even adding multi-language support? You see how this simple weekend project can quickly grow into a seriously impressive, powerful tool?
Okay, so you've built the thing. That's amazing. But listen, this part is absolutely crucial. Building it is only half the battle. If you can't talk about it and present it in a compelling way, it's just not going to have the impact it deserves. So let's talk about showcasing your work.
Think of your GitHub README as the front door to your project. It's got to be good. And this template gives you the perfect structure. You start with the problem you're trying to solve. Then, clearly state your solution. List your tech stack. And this one's key. Quantify your results. Show the data. And finally, please, include a link to a live demo or a quick video of it in action.
And then, when you're in an interview or just talking about it, you need to tell a story. This 5-step structure is perfect. Start with a problem, the user's pain point. Then, explain your approach, why a vector database was the right tool for the job. Walk through a few key implementation details. Share those awesome quantifiable results again. And then, and this is huge, talk about what you learned. It shows you can reflect and grow.
All right, we've talked about the what and the how. Now it's time to get down to business. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it.
We're going to lay out a crystal clear action plan to get you from zero to a finished project in 1 month.
Here it is, your 1-month plan. Super simple. Step 1, just choose one of the 4 projects we talked about. Step 2, spend the first week, just 1 week, building the MVP. Step 3, deploy it, get it out there. Step 4, get feedback from just 1 or 2 users. And finally, Step 5, iterate, make it better. This is exactly how real-world software gets built.
And what's the end goal of all this? This right here, your portfolio goal. To have one solid, production-grade project that shows you can take an idea from the very beginning all the way to a final, deployed solution. That's the prize.
So let's end on this thought. 1 month from today, what will you have to show? Is it going to be a Q&A bot that's helping out your coworkers? A chat bot that's making customers happy? A search engine that's saving developers hours of time? The blueprints are right here. The choice is yours. The only question left is, what are you going to build?